I feel like, you know, at this point, I'm overlapping. I'm overlapping pods. I'm overlapping pods at this point. Like episode 24 and 25 out now. You know, two podcasts in a week is not for the weak, and that's a bar. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I might have to get up to Drake right there. Yeah, 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 yeah. Top of the motherfucking week, man. Romantic TV. You know, a couple of things to get to. You know, certainly not. Certainly hasn't been a slow news week. I mean, listen, like I said on episode 25, you know, which is out now. You know, link is in the bio. And how rude of me, you know, I didn't even hold on. Let me introduce my podcast the correct way. I'm jumping all over myself. I'm overlapping podcasts. I had 24 out. I was editing 25, giving y'all 25 snippets with 24 snippets. I've been going crazy, right? But realistically, you know, thanks for tuning in, by the way. He is I is he, WILLMAT. See, I'm at a point now where, like, I just feel like I'm like a day ahead of myself. You know, UFC 287, man, this past Saturday, you know. And you know, I really, you know, I feel like I might have to really just start. It's so crazy, man. How like my predictions be so spot on. Like no. You have to understand what I'm saying here. I literally sit and I watch everything leading up to the fight. I watch all of the, you know, the embedded series. You know, I mean, maybe I don't watch every episode because at the end of the day, I got a podcast and shit. So like every now and then I get caught up in my own thoughts. I might have to go to the docket and you know what I mean, sit with the docket for like an hour or two. So realistically, I can't watch the UFC embedded vlog series. I can't watch every episode, dog. I don't really have that much time. But you know, the episodes that I do catch, you know, I do my homework. You know, as much homework as I can. You know, on not just the fight and the fight game, but the fighters and you know, just the psychology of the whole mixed martial arts thing. I feel like I'm being a little bit too long-winded here. I mean, it's like, where do you start? So let's start with the positive, all right? Let's start with the triumph, right? Because I mean, triumph and failure may be the key takeaways for this from this UFC 287 for me. You know, this is the whole thing, right? Israel Adesanya. I talked a lot. I talked real crazy, and you know, at this point, you know, man of my word, the promise I made with myself off mic, off pod, you know, off the airways. I told myself, you know, the first thing I really need to do is I owe this man a complete apology. Israel Adesanya. Is he on Instagram? I'm pretty sure he is. I will be tagging you in the story, my brother. And, you know, realistically, fam, every now and then, you know, we say things and you know, we don't really do this the thing. I said, and I felt like personally prior to this fight, Israel Adesanya, I'm not saying that I felt like he fell off. I feel like he's always been talented, right? He's super talented fighter, right? And at the end of the day, listen, he's been a middleweight champion for I don't know how long it's been. It's been years, and he's been running the middleweight division. And at the end of the day, man, listen, this guy Alex Pereira, you know, I wasn't even truly fully aware of the history, you know, that they had between each other. But I'm being too long winded here. Let's just get to the apology. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, I didn't feel like he was gonna pull it off. I didn't feel like he was gonna pull it off. I felt like Israel Adesanya, you know, kind of just been, you know, getting by to a certain degree. And I feel like, I don't know, man. I just felt like he was putting more emphasis into his entrances and making an entrance and his themes and shit than like actually strategizing for fights. Now, this is the thing, right? I completely, like I said, once again, like, I take all of this back because at the end of the day, the man went in there and, you know, he regained his championship belt, and he didn't just go in there and regain his championship. He went in there and regained his championship in spectacular fashion, fam. Which, I mean, for me personally, as a fight fan, because that's all I am at the end of the day. I'm just a fan at the end of the day. I'm not a mixed martial arts fighter. I know, I mean, listen, you'll be surprised. I might know how to throw a leg kick. That's a whole nother story. But I won't go to jail because I'm not licensed as a mixed martial arts fighter. I just study what y'all do, implement it into what I already know how to do. I don't want no smoke with Izzy. What I'm saying is this. I ain't feel like Izzy was going to get it done. I ain't feel like he was going to get it done. I didn't feel like he was going to go in there and knock this guy out. I mean, listen, man, he came in there, and like I said, man, the fight hype and the build up for me personally is so important, man, because it gives you an opportunity to kind of read into what the fighter is basically get into their mind a little bit during fight week, And there's a lot of different things that you can pick up from fighters during fight week, And the one thing I will say about Izzy is, he was super confident going into that fight, I mean, you can never really tell if it's a poker face or not, with these fighters, because at the end of the day, they've been doing this for so long, right? So I kind of still wasn't really sure, but I mean, he was confident, and he literally said, he said it. He said, "This is my 8 Mile moment, fam. This is my, my one chance to blow." He could quote Eminem, fam. He quoted Eminem, dog. Like he was on a whole different type of timing. He compared his situation to go and regain his championship that he lost, and people was doubting him, including myself. Like, yeah, at this point, he pretty much, that dude might have his number, because that's what it looked like, And like I said, I wasn't aware of their history, but they had already fought in the amateurs a few times. So basically, my point is this: he really had his number since the amateurs, for real. So for him to come back and then come back and knock the dude out, we ain't even really talking about the knockout. The knockout was, I mean, listen, man. At the end of the day, I seen a couple of videos. People were saying it was fake. Like this, at the end of the day, listen. A lot of people are not mixed martial arts fans at the end of the day, and I understand that. It took me a long time to understand it myself. There was a point in time I was just strictly, the only combat sport I knew was a Mayweather fight. You on the dig? So like, I kind of understand. I mean, I don't anymore. I feel like people need to really just like do their research and kind of like just basically apply more common sense. That clearly wasn't a staged knockout, and we not going to sit here and act like the UFC is opposed to doing this. Cowboy Cerrone, Conor McGregor. That was crazy. Now, if you want to have that conversation about that situation, I'm there. I'm the first one at that seat. There are instances where fights do, appear to be, staged or whatever the case may be, and we're not gonna act like these things have never happened. My point is this: that Izzy knockout wasn't staged, though. You are not about to get a guy like Alex Pereira to, sit there and play dead and take 5 minutes to, stumble up to his feet, dog. That wasn't acting, fam. He was trying to go in there and win that fight, fam. He got knocked out, dog. Now, I will say this. The fight was boring as shit. Caught him with some shit. The fight was kind of mediocre, but the punch he caught him with was like just an out of nowhere, off the cage lunge, caught him in the temple. He really hit him twice. And that first shot is really what got him. I feel like he was out cold on his feet for a little bit there. And then that second shot just put him down. Apparently, Izzy got some punching power, though, which is another thing I kind of slept on that, though. I ain't really realized he had hands like that. I thought he was more of a kicker. We on UFC 287 right now. Izzy regained, middleweight championship. Let's get to Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal versus Gilbert Burns. Now, this is the thing. Right? Again, I do my homework, right? I do my research, and I watch all of the fight hype and the build up to the fights. Jorge Masvidal. This I don't want to. I'm trying to be careful with the way I say this, right? Because realistically, fam, at the end of the day, this man retired from the sport. You know, a 20 year career, a 20+ year career. At this point, he paid his dues, and you don't want to. You know, you want to honor that. Is what I'm basically trying to say. If you're a fan of the fight game, any fighter who put in 20+ years in the sport should be honored and respected at the end of their career. Realistically, this is the problem with this situation, right? I don't feel like it's applicable to Jorge Masvidal, fam. I just don't. I feel like I want to do the complete opposite right now, fam. I literally want to say the worst things about this fighter. I want to come on here right now and tell you that Jorge Masvidal is a bum. I do. I'm not going to do it. I'm just telling you that's what I want to do. I want to come on here and tell you that this man talks so much shit during that fight hype and that build up that he actually almost got me to damn near gamble during Ramadan. It was Easter. I'm not gonna hold you. Y'all gonna have to start. I might have to start sending them sponsors over at this point. Like low key, like I've been practicing my little sponsor. Like I'm just saying, man. A bottle of Essentia right here, fam. Essentia. I'm drinking Essentia with every meal. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, you name it. Essentia. The purest, the cleanest, best source, most filtered, high volume, 9.5 pH or higher. It is the way of life. It is Essentia. And I did just freestyle that ass. Essentia. He lost the fight to Gilbert Burns. And, he didn't just lose the fight. He got embarrassed. He went in there and got spanked. I mean, it was a complete... Gilbert Burns went in there and completely showed his entire arsenal, fam. I'm talking about takedowns. I'm talking about, checks, lefts, rights. Every maneuver that he had, everything in his arsenal. He picked him up over his head, fam. You gotta understand that it is one of the rarest takedowns you will ever see in a UFC fight. Is when a fighter hoists another fighter up completely over his head. He ain't just leg tripping, fam. Understand that. And he had the leg trip available. The leg trip was right there. He wanted to show, because, it was a whole thing, Miami, hometown hero. The crowd it was a pro Jorge Masvidal crowd, fam. The whole thing was it was like Rocky. They built this thing up like Rocky was about to fight Mike Tyson or something, bro. Then you go in there and you don't even perform. I don't even think he got a punch on, dog. You should have seen Gilbert Burns at that post-press conference. He was smiling. He wasn't sweating. He didn't have a scratch on his face, dog. Embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. It is. Where was Jorge Masvidal, you ask? Well, he was nowhere to be found, He retired in the ring and he didn't do a post-fight press conference, which, I feel like is a clear sign of embarrassment. At the end of the day, I feel like he knows that might have been one of his worst performances, realistically, fam. And, I just feel like it is to a certain degree. This is me as a fight fan now, getting back to me as a fan. I feel like he fucked up a lot of, future fights, basically. And realistically, fam, it's like, damn, my nigga. We kind of needed you to win this. You know what I'm saying? And, the expectation was, if you win this, we was talking about him winning this in spectacular fashion, like Izzy. He lost in spectacular fashion, dog. We needed him we just could have got a win at least. At least get the win. Like, maybe you ain't gonna get the knockout. You're not going to go in there and, need a guy in that, like you caught Ben Askren in what was it, 3 seconds, fam? And we gonna talk. Let's stay there. Let's stay right there. That Ben Askren knee was Jorge Masvidal's entire career at this point, fam. Like the whole 20-year career thing, it's like, fam, yeah, you put in the time and all that. But realistically, fam, what's your record, dog? This man is like 18-19 or something crazy. Like, fam, your record ain't really that great. You know, your highlight reel is, it's cool. It's cool. You got the knee. You got the knee in there. But then I'm just like, after the knee, what else is there, fam? Gilbert Burns completely annihilated Jorge Masvidal. You know, after he basically said he was gonna go in there and knock Gilbert Burns out and all this other stuff, dog. Knockout where, bro? I'm not even sure if he threw a combination. Like, bro, it was really bad. It was really bad. And then he retired at the end of the fight. So, the Leon Edwards fight is out the window. We ain't gonna see that, But it's probably a good thing for him. Because honestly, I'm pretty sure Leon Edwards is probably somewhere laughing. Like, bro, I wish I would have got to get this guy in that cage, bro. He would have kicked. Let's get off the UFC, man. Amazing. It was dope though. For the moments that I was awake for. I gotta figure out a way to, like. I'm probably just gonna have to stop watching the prelims at this point, fam. Like, that's the UFC in a nutshell. 287 weekend wrap up recap. Yeah, man. Jorge retired, man. We gonna transition. We gonna segue over into, we gonna keep it on sports. We gonna keep it on sports. I guess it's, I guess we have to talk about the NBA. I mean, do we really though? Realistically, like, I feel like the LSU thing is still more of like a trending thing. Like, that's still the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese thing is still more hotter than, bro. I'm reluctantly. So let me get to what do I even have on my docket? Because like I said, me personally, I'm not watching this anymore. I'm done. This season, I'm done with this season, fam. I'll be back next season. When players is healthy again and Zion lose some weight off his ankles so we can see him for a full season. I want Kyrie at peace, like Lucas said. Lucas said he wants peace. Luca at the exit interview, man, talking about Kyrie. Listen. So look, the NBA is a complete disaster right now for me as a fan, right? So I thought it was a good idea to root for the Dallas Mavericks. I had hope. I had faith. And I just felt like, I don't know, man. I felt like Luka and Kyrie, I felt like somehow, some way they would figure it out. I felt like they would just figure it out. I felt like they're talented enough, I feel like Jason Kidd, up until this point, I felt like he was a great coach. I mean, I'm not sure what happened this season. You get Kyrie, now you want to forget that you was that dude in Milwaukee on that damn board. You was over there drawing up some shit for Giannis and them. You got Giannis to this damn point, low key. Bring that same energy and them same plays to Dallas, fam. And like, realistically, dog, like, Kyrie went to Dallas and it was like a shaky situation because obviously mid-season trade, right? Which we don't really see too often. Mid-season trades, flourishing into a championship on that same season, right? That those things obviously take time, and chemistry building is a timely process, right? Obviously, we weren't necessarily expecting. I mean, I kind of was though. Let me not lie though. When I seen them fourth quarter games, when Kyrie started looking like him, I said, I don't know, man. I feel like if Josh Powell could get a couple of rebounds, like, I was really invested. I don't even know who over there no more, man. Tell me about no goddamn. Well, like I said, I don't even remember the names of the players anymore. I fucked with the rookie though. Hardy was cool. I feel like he had some good ceiling, but Christian Wood, Josh Powell, JaVale McGee ain't even really play enough for me. I'm not sure why Dwight Howard was in Taiwan, fam, in a 3-point shootout. I'm not sure what Mark Cuban was doing. I'm not sure if maybe Shark Tank on ABC You know what I'm saying? Maybe, he might want to decrease his schedule over there. I'm not sure if, the deals over there is overlapping and he's not really able to focus on basketball. He over there trying to make deals on Shark Tank with Kevin O'Leary and Damon John. Bring Fubu back, fam. What are we doing? Kyrie's getting out of there, though. And realistically, I'm not that angry just for the simple fact that obviously it's not like he's locked in. He ain't locked into no long-term contract, man. This was kind of like the experiment to see, like, all right, potentially, maybe we could make something happen here. It's clearly not happening. Decline the exit interview. I'm out of here. Don't interview me. Don't ask me no questions, dog. I already told y'all I don't want to talk about my future when I got there. Y'all already know I'm leaving. You feel me? And realistically, fam, like I said, I'll be back invested next season when Kyrie's in a new jersey. More than likely, that jersey will be a Phoenix Suns jersey. I'm not really sure. I mean, they keep saying the Lakers, but realistically, fam, like Bronny about to come to the league, dog. It's not about to be Bronny, Kyrie, and LeBron. Like, I don't feel like the Lakers is the number one destination for Kyrie Irving, personally. Especially after LeBron. We've seen LeBron go down with injuries this season, I just feel like for him, especially coming out of these two situations with, two teams where things clearly kind of basically didn't go as planned, you want a fresh start now. You want to go somewhere where you kind of know that, all right, there's some pieces here long term that I could really rely on. And I mean, this is just my thinking personally. I'm not Kyrie Irving at the end of the day. He might really just go to LA. He might just go to LA. Or he might just surprise you. He might retire. We don't know with Kyrie sometimes. And I'm at a point now where, like, as a fan, I don't even know anymore. Like, what are we doing, fam? I'm glad he declined that exit interview, though. Because, yeah. Hold on. I didn't even get to the part. See, this is the thing, right? I talk over myself. Absolutely declined that exit interview, fam. They sat key players. They sat Luka and Kyrie out so that they can secure some 10th spot, fam, in the lottery, fam. Are you kidding me? You brought me the ultimate close. This is basically what I'm here. This is what I'm built to do. This is my whole entire legacy. I'm Uncle Drew, fam. When shit get crazy and shit get uncertain on that court, you give me the ball, and I'm going to make it all make sense again, fam. And that was pretty much what his role was, and he was kind of fulfilling that role clearly in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter Kyrie is just insane. Like, at this point, I thought it was just like a fluke thing, kind of like. I thought that was just like the Cleveland game when they won that ring and shit. Nah. Fourth quarter Kyrie is really a different, like, he'll score 30 in the fourth quarter type shit. And Luka kind of was just sitting back, shaking his head, watching, It just didn't look good. It didn't look good. I ain't like the blue jerseys, none of it. Get him out of there. I'm done with the Mavs, man. Is there any more NBA? Like, Udonis Haslem finally retiring and shit. Shout out to UD, man. Miami Heat. Come on, man. Cream, get the money. He's as old as this instrumental, fam. Dallas Mavericks has been in the league way too long, fam. Like, dog, I feel like he needs to kind of get out of the league now. Get out of the way. Get out of the way, fam. I'm trying to say it in an appropriate way, in a political way and shit. There's too much political shit going on already. I'm not trying to be political on this episode, dog. Get out of the way. Let Jimmy Butler in them. You over there fighting players on the bench, grabbing jerseys and shit, tugging on jerseys. Like, fam, get off of me, dog. Your time is up, my nigga. I got this. Nah, respect to you, Udonis Haslem, though. Definitely, his jersey is definitely. I feel like they already put his jersey up, though. Didn't they, like, put his jersey up while he was still active or something? Like, the first player in history? You get his jersey. They put his jersey up in the rafters while he was still active, fam. While he was playing. Like, the game was on. During the game, they put it up, man. Like, you know what, fam? He's never gonna. Realistically, fam, we might not get a chance to do this. Hoist that bitch up right now, fam. while he's at the free throw line. Udonis has him. They told him to just look up. I mean, I guess it's time now. Wasn't Dirk in a similar situation? Dirk and Whiskey? Like, they kind of, like, forced him out the league and shit. You forget that Dirk and Whiskey was still in the league, like, not too long ago. What was that, like? What was his last year? I feel like it was, like, 2019 or something. Right before that COVID shit happened. He got out right in time and shit. He must have knew it was coming. We gonna get off of the NBA. Yeah. Like this, like that, like this, like that, and I'm back. And you know it. And you know that. And you know that. Episode 26. What's going on? Get in the mix. What the fuck is this? This is a motherfucking podcast, and my shit legit. Look, I put it out. I don't think about it, and it's really kind of easy because I don't do it for clout. I did it for the story. I did it for the glory. The difference between me and you, that y'all do anything to get that check. That's blue. Next to your pick, look. Blue faces for blue checks, and that's the name of this episode, and I ain't titled it yet. I just freestyled that in real time. This is a real freestyle, real rhyme, real hip-hop shit. 50 years in this. Constantly loving the movement. I didn't know that this was a duet. I'm kind of upset. Monique got a Netflix special. I was trying to figure out how I was going, like, where I was going to throw that in there. Realistically, it might have dropped already. Let me see. Let me look into that, though. Salute to Monique. As a matter of fact, though, hold on, man. Hold on. Because realistically, I've been following that. I'm not going to say I've been following that. I'm lying. I was following that at a certain point. Like 2 years ago and shit. Monique Netflix. So let me see right here. I will definitely be watching this special. Oh, really? Wow. Okay, so the special actually did come out. And wow. Are you serious? So now it sees, okay, this changes I'm going to put the instrumentals back on now. This changes the subject. This changes the topic a lot when I'm reading here. So look, I still want to say salute to Monique, obviously, for getting the special. I'm not sure, like I said, with the, how much they paid her. That's not ultimately my business, right? I'm not really a pocket watcher. I don't really watch with the pockets, right? Sometimes I don't even I don't even count what I got. Sometimes I just swipe and don't even look. I don't even get the receipt or nothing, right? Sometimes you gotta just live life like this, right? Don't live life, don't let numbers run your life. You know what I'm saying? Do your numbers. Don't let the numbers do you. That's a bar. Don't worry, it's gonna hit you eventually. Let's get back to Monique coming out as a whole queer. I shouldn't say it like that. Monique. See, this is where I gotta learn I'm learning how to be like more like not professional, because I feel like I'm super professional, right? I'm super classy, all that, right? But more sensitive with the way I say things, right? Monique apparently has come out as queer in Netflix special. So this was 3 days ago. So I'm late. I'm super late to what's going on with this shit. I'm on here trying to like hit y'all with the topic. Like I'm hitting y'all with something that y'all apparently I don't even really know what's going on. I ain't see the special clearly, but she came out as queer? Really? Interesting. I'm not really sure exactly what that means though. Like queer? I feel like I have a good idea of what that means. But these days, man, you just don't know anymore, do you? Nah, but in all seriousness though, I'm gonna check out the special at some point. Realistically, I got a lot of things to do this week. I might not see it this week, but no, I'm just like I'm not sure. She's married though, right? Interesting. So my question is this: did she get the damn special because she queer now? Come on, let's talk about it, man. Now I gotta hit y'all with a topic I ain't even have on my docket. You know what I'm saying? Like realistically, I just sat here the whole time and I tried to hold that back. I did. I tried to do that for y'all. But let me just keep it all the way 1,000 right now. I can't. Everybody can't go. I just feel like the pandering, and that's probably the word I was looking for. I just hope that this is not what this is, man. Is she pandering? Do people feel like is the LGBT community a business move now? Like, is this shit just like a chess move, dog, in business? Because, fam, I just feel like it's very ironic. I'm gonna leave just now because I didn't even want to stay on this that long. I ain't even have nothing written down with Monique Netflix special. But this is what happens when you do research, right? I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna go ahead and hold on, put the docket down real quick. So you know I'm about to pick up, because realistically, where we at 4:10 at the time of recording. Come on, man. Y'all know what's going on. I hope you had peace. I hope you had peace with yourself. It's the wild, wild west out here, man. You know, and I feel like, not to go back to my last episode, but episode 24, reading, writing, arithmetic, TikTok. I put that episode out, and I was basically speaking on the whole TikTok ban, and it's just so crazy how when you just look at how everything is kind of all connected, and everything that's going on in the finance space, these bankers, and as I say bankers, there was just as I'm recording this episode, prayers and condolences. This is so cliche now to even say this, and we just literally are coming off of, another mass shooting has occurred in Louisville, Kentucky. 5 dead at the time of, recording. Hopefully, I mean, listen, man, you know how this is a developing story. Like I said, this is just in. It's an ongoing investigation. What they have so far is, lone gunman, former employee at a bank in Louisville, Kentucky, right? So the banks, there's no correlation to that, with the banks, but as I said, banks, it just popped up into my head, because like I said, this shit just happened, and I did write it down. I don't really have anything on it other than this shit is becoming, like I said, it's starting to feel like a holiday at this point. It's just starting to feel like mass shootings have just become a part of our everyday life now. It's just starting to feel like it's something that they want us to kind of get acquainted with. It's starting to just feel like, I don't know, man, they just keep putting this thing in our face. We know that statistically copycats, usually, surface when these things occur. It's just a lot of shit going on, man, and it's never easy to speak on these type of situations, but this is current events, this is going on, this is happening, this is the Everybody Can't Go podcast. So, everybody includes everything, and unfortunately we have to report that Bob Lee, 43 years old, he was the chief technology officer of Squarespace, super innovative, concept that, listen, man, he was an innovator in the technology space, founder of Cash App, crypto enthusiast. Well, it's being reported that Bob Lee, who was out just on a random, stroll around, the neighborhood, this is in San Francisco, this is in one of those areas, by the way, where they're very, very high, and tech progressive community. So basically, I point this out because, well, we'll get to that, right? So Bob Lee, they have footage of, this man staggering around. He was stabbed by what they're reporting was an innocent, or not an innocent, but just a random incident of a mugger who just basically wanted, he stabbed this man. I didn't hear any reports of anything being stolen, but apparently what they're putting out and what they're reporting and what they're confident in putting out, at this current time is that a random mugger just came and went and stabbed this man and killed him. So I get to the point of it being such a tech progressive neighborhood because, like I said, they did release footage, right? So there's footage of Bob Lee, in the aftermath of the incident, basically staggering around on the street, looking at wandering around for help, trying to wave cars down, and it's actually a very, very, I can't even imagine what his children and what his wife are going through and what they're going to continue to go through, continuing to see that footage being played on the news. It's a hard video to watch, man, because at the end of the day, nobody helped him. You understand what I'm saying? So this man is staggering around with a stab wound. You just out strolling around. We've all been in there. Like, at the end of the day, I don't care what time it is. Like, if the man wanted to go take a walk, there's no foul play or there's nothing mischievous in the fact that he was out, taking a walk at the time. I'm not sure what time it was. I'm assuming it was in the wee hours of the morning. It looked like it was like pretty late or whatever the case may be. My point is this: you should be able to go take a walk in a tech progressive neighborhood in San Francisco without being stabbed to death, man. And obviously, yeah, there's a large, homeless population in San Fran, and obviously these things can happen anywhere at any time, and we always have to be on high alert at the end of the day, no matter where we are. I don't care where you at. I don't care how much cameras you feel like is there, how safe you feel like you are. Realistically, you should have your head on a swivel at this point. And I mean, if this story isn't any indication of that, I'm not sure what would be. Um, yeah, man. You should always have. Hold on, partner. All I'm saying is this, man. We don't know. All we are going off of. So all we have to go off of at this current time is what they put out, and what they put out is basically clips of this man in the aftermath. So my question is this, right? You're talking about the founder of Cash App, right? We're talking, Bob Lee was no small fish, right? On the totem pole, Bob Lee was a pretty high profile, I would imagine, and valuable, high ranking, what I'm saying, individual in the world, in the tech world, obviously, and in the crypto world, amongst other things. Now, obviously, when we look at what's currently going on, and I don't want to have to get. I feel like I'm gonna have to get into my conspiracy bag on y'all just a tad bit. So you mean to tell me they have footage of the aftermath of the situation, but they don't have footage or some type of anything of the, basically what took place and what transpired before the incident or before what we seen on that footage? Is this really the land of the free? Because, I just feel like if we do find out later on down the line, right? Because, every now, they'll put out a documentary 10 years from now. Like, yeah, you know what, man? Bob Lee was on to something that was they was getting ready to decentralize every bank. And Bob Lee had the main coin and he was really starting to catch some momentum. And if that documentary comes out 10 years from now, right? Because it's not like we haven't seen a bunch of those documentaries, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we do know that these things can be revealed later on down the line, right? Once enough research is done and more things are revealed, right? My question is this: if it does indeed come out that Bob Lee was murdered Murdered, not in a random fashion. Murdered, assassinated, right? Then what does that say about just basically, the current situation that we're in as a country and our country's will and desire to, remove us from that situation? In other words, are we just going to continue to blindly walk in this, I don't know, man, in this rat race, on this rat wheel, and just continue to keep voting? You got presidents and former presidents, and they indicting Trump, and it's a whole Trump show again, fam. They want to turn this shit. This shit is like a circus, dog. It is a circus. It is a circus. It's not like the circus, fam. We are at the circus with this whole thing called politics, man. Politics and politricks. I don't understand the concept, and they keep telling us to get ready for Great Depressions. But realistically, everybody depressed, so we already learned that lesson. Yeah. And it's a blessing if you woke up this morning and you step in on your 2 feet, 10 toes down to the earth. Cause that's your real worth. Look, do I gotta say it twice? Or did you understand it the first time? Or am I really that nice? Cause I really be on here rapping, y'all. I'm really on here potting and I'm really out here trapping, y'all. I ain't doing that third one. Cause they out here indicting shit. Look, they out here indicting shit, and I'm out here just writing shit. EBC Podcast Episode 26. Fed now. Yeah. And just to close on that whole Bob Lee situation, rest in peace. And prayers and condolences, to his family and to, the people, his loved ones, who are probably, definitely grieving during this time, Like I said, man, it just I'm part of me again for, hitting the mic. It just makes me feel like, I don't know, man. So you trying to tell me that a man can't, kind of basically figure out a way to kind of make the way of living, for people, I guess, more on an even playing field, right? More opportunities to basically really put your family in a situation where they can have the American dream, right? He was trying to really create that for his family, and he, this man went and figured some stuff out, and it's just kind of like, man, they are taking you out, fam. If you ain't playing the game, then that's why it's just best to realistically, fam. Like, and then I see some other stuff where they was basically saying, like, he was very, very vocal about certain things and kind of was speaking out. And, speaking out obviously is something that, ultimately, is usually the common denominator in most situations when we see, these atrocities occur, Rest in peace, Nipsey, By the way, I feel like I should just quickly mention the fact that Eric Holder definitely got sentenced. A few people got sentenced, by the way. I feel like I need to just throw that in there real quick because I want to get right through this Bob Lee right here, because at the end of the day, Fed now. You know what? Let me close the Bob Lee and we're gonna get to that, right? So what is this Fed now? Fed now. So the federal government released, or they're planning on releasing, an app, and this is in the wake of the death of Bob Lee. Now remember, Bob Lee is the founder of the app Cash App, right? Bob Lee was just killed in a mysterious, random fashion, fam. And 2 days later, not even a full week later, 2 days later, fam, our government is putting out an app called Fed Now, which I don't really have all of the particulars. I should look it up real quick. I should do that. So what is this Fed Now? What is this, huh? So is this what it's all about right here? Y'all was trying to get Cash App. Was Cash App in the way? And by the way, I have Cash App on my phone, and Cash App has been really good to me. Like, I was really like, salute to Bob Lee, man. Because Cash App, I'm sure he had other things coming down the pike. He was clearly very innovative. So let me get to this FedNow joint though. So what it's appearing to be is like a knockoff version of Cash App, right? FedNow service will enable financial institutions to deliver end-to-end faster payment services to their customers. I'm not using it. I won't be downloading that on my phone. And realistically, fam, y'all probably listening to me right now. And I'm sure my phone gonna start acting crazy now. Like, I don't care. I'll get rid of the phone. It's all good. Start glitch the phone. You know what, Fed? Glitch the phone, dog. I'm not getting the FedNow app after I kill Bob Lee. Let's talk about it, fam. Y'all killed Bob Lee. This ain't even really like y'all wasn't even trying to really hide it. So I feel like I could just say it. 2 days later, man, listen, R.I.P. Bob Lee. We gonna get off of that. We gonna get off of that, man. Like I said, man, politics and politics, man. It's just politics and politics. What's going on over there in Tennessee right now, huh? This ain't the Clash of the Titans, dog. This ain't the Tennessee Titans. This ain't the Super Bowl. This is a whole different type of clash going on in Tennessee right now, with 3 lawmakers. I have their names. Hold on. So we have Justin Jones, Gloria Johnson, and Justin Pearson. So 2 Justins and a Gloria. So this is the whole spiel here, right? Like I said, I had to come and get on it because, like I said, I'm looking at the calendar. I'm like, all right, this Monday at the time of recording. I hit y'all with the joint 6 days ago. 6 days ago, 6 days later, look at all of the events that has transpired. I could have sat back and waited it out. I could have waited till Thursday to really see. But I said, you know what? That's too much for y'all. That's too much on y'all plate. Because realistically, I do this. I'm not really worried about me. You feel me? I could have did a podcast every day this week, fam. As you can clearly see. I'm too long-winded on these topics, man, because, like I said, man, this stuff is really, truly, like, I feel like it's the sign of the times, man. Sign of the times. And we got to really be paying attention to how this stuff is transpiring out here, because I feel like a lot of this stuff is connected. Like, I just feel like the timing of the Bob Lee thing is just, if we look at, like I said, man, we just look at what's going on with the money. Do I got to point to it? Do I got to be real specific? Huh? Look at the China trade deal situation, man. We're clearly in a situation where, we're trying to scramble to figure out long-term money situations, right? Bob Lee, I'm pretty sure, is a guy who's very, very valuable in that regard. Okay? Enough said, right? We connecting dots that they connecting the dots right in front of our eyes, man. We don't even have, all we gotta do is put the line through the dots. The dots is really already connected. You remember when we used to have to trace and we used to have to draw and you put the dots is there and it would be like a giraffe. They are putting the dots right in front of our faces, fam. Just draw the lines. Connected. It's right there. Bob Lee was definitely assassinated, and it's really a shame, man. We're going to get back to Tennessee, though, because I'm off on a tangent. So, yeah, these 3 lawmakers out there in Tennessee, rightfully so, sign of the times. They see what's going on. We just had another mass shooting today, April 10th, 2023. At the time of this recording, a mass shooting has occurred in Louisville, Kentucky at a bank. For all I know, after this recording, another one might occur up the block from where I'm recording from, fam, because that's just how often that's happening. You got to kind of just really like before I'm checking for the weather, before I'm checking the weather, to go outside, fam, I'm checking to see what's going on in my local area. I might need to get, what's the app, bro? I might have to get that app back on my phone, fam. The Crime Stoppers app, whatever that app is, fam. I might have to sign up for a whole, fam. Let me not say what I was getting ready to say. Join like the fucking, what happened to the guy? Whatever happened to the Guardian Angels? I say all that to say this. Bring the Guardian Angels back on the streets, man. We clearly need some Guardian Angels out here, fam. And we all have our own personal spiritual angels, right? I mean, I would assume. I know I have mine, right? Sign of the times. You better be connected to something. right? Another source. Like this shit down here is cool, but at the end of the day, fam, you got to be able to channel other sources. Realistically, fam, if you just connected to what's going on down here and that's it, you're probably not gonna make it past 2023. Like realistically, fam, this shit is a boatload of just depression. I kept the Aaliyah on because I wanted to be respectful, but realistically, where I'm getting ready to go with this, you might need to up it a notch. WILLMATIC. Yeah, yeah. He is I is he. I want to bring it back to Tennessee, and I want to get it back to these lawmakers. So basically, the situation that's going on is basically a protest occurred. You know, let's get straight to the meat and potatoes of this. So clearly, with all of the recent, gun violence and things that have been going on as it pertains to guns and gun violence, these three lawmakers decided to do a peaceful protest and lead and, organize a protest to demonstrate, basically, that they were in disagreement with the gun violence and they were trying to. I didn't see the protest, so I'm basically trying to paraphrase, but what I'm assuming is that they were basically calling out certain politicians basically to do their job, right? You see what's going on out here. We need this stuff to be expedited, right? So they basically tried to martin the situation, right? What ended up happening was, the two black men, the two brothers, were expelled, you know, from their position, from their seats, what I'm saying, on the House, and let me just say their names. I don't want to say the black. I don't want to make it like a colored name. I don't. Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, were expelled from their seats, while Gloria Johnson, who was a white woman, noteworthy in this situation. Why? Because we are in America, right? And we're dealing with race when we're dealing with America, right? Because of the history and the we don't need to get into the history. We know the history. I would hope we know the history, and clearly the history, is still happening today, fam. I just don't understand how three lawmakers, one white woman, two black men, they protested the exact same thing. What was it? She was one vote away. Yeah, one vote. Right. So one vote is basically what kept her in her seat. Meanwhile, these two men are basically, fighting to get reelected. I'm not sure if there's going to be some type of special reelection for them or whatever the case may be. If I'm not mistaken, they're currently looking to replace, those two gentlemen as I speak. I just feel like, what country do we live in? And again, what is this saying? What is this saying about the signs of the times and what is to come? And I'm not trying to monger. I'm not trying to monger y'all up. At the end of the day, fam, if you see this stuff that's going on, realistically, you should already be right where I'm at with it at this point. Like, I mean, dog, what message are they trying to send to you when they're basically punishing people? They're punishing people. They punish them for speaking out against a mass shooting that involved. It was the school in the Christian Covenant School. I remember now. I couldn't remember. It wasn't coming to me. But right, it was about the school and the children that were the innocent children in the school that were shot and killed. That was what they were protesting. They wasn't out here protesting half of the stuff that I see getting protested that aren't nearly as important or significant as a mass shooting at a school. So I'm just a little confused. That I'm every now and then it's kind of hard to really like America don't surprise me anymore. You understand? I'm kind of at a point now where I understand it. I know it. I've seen it. I've read it. I'm kind of already ahead of it. You understand what I'm saying? You understand? So it's very hard to surprise me these days when I see some of these stories. It's kind of just like we've seen this movie before. But I genuinely actually was scratching my head here just for the simple fact that I just don't understand the angle. I don't understand the angle. Expel them out of their seat because they protested something that we all agree should be fixed. I mean, listen, man, that's just where we are as a country, I guess. You can't even speak out against children being killed anymore. But I guess that's just the sign of the times. Because it's bigger than the pod right now. Sometimes it's bigger than the pod. It is. It is. Sometimes my heart really is invested. Sometimes I really truly don't understand. Sometimes, it's a lot of reasons. It's one of the main reasons why I do a podcast. Besides the fact that I do feel like I want to document everything that we're currently living through, I just feel like personally that's super important. I feel like there's a lot of history that has been hidden from me. As a black man in this country, I just feel like every chance I get in recording, some history for myself. I'm gonna end it on blue faces for blue checks, man. What's going on? What y'all doing, man? Y'all paying for to get verified? Y'all paying? Let me understand this here. You going to work, you waking up, you setting your alarm clock. You know what I'm saying? You getting up, you wiping the cold out your eye, you pouring up a bowl of cereal, you doing all this just so that you could take your hard earned money so that you could go and verify yourself on a platform that you make no money on. What I'm trying to understand is this, because realistically, I ain't had to turn up like that just now. I didn't. I ain't had to turn up like that. You feel me? The Coolio Gangsters Paradise came on. It kind of surprised me, because realistically, fam, I don't even have the phone near me. Usually, the setup is a little different. I usually have the instrumental pack right there. I kind of see what's next, so I can kind of get ready to, I don't see it right now, right? And as I say, Coolio, rest in peace, Coolio. Rest in peace, Coolio, because at the end of the day, it was just, announced, or not announced, but I guess the toxicology reports, came back, and his cause of death was revealed, and unfortunately it was fentanyl. And I mean, listen, man, I just don't know. Like I said, man, sign of the times. Sign of the times, bro. Sign of the times, man. Get a microphone, hit record, and document this shit. Because we don't know where we about to go. At the end of the day, I feel like, oh yeah, that's a fact. I definitely want to acknowledge the fact that Pop Smoke, you know, the individuals who were responsible for that assassination, were ultimately brought to justice. And I believe that, the trigger man was a juvenile, and, it's a whole controversy, with the sentencing that was, handed out. This kid went and got 4 years. Personally, I just feel like I don't understand what I just don't. The sign of the times, man. It's the sign of the times. I don't understand. I don't even have an explanation anymore. I'm just gonna say I don't understand. You trying to tell me that you could kill somebody? I could kill somebody. Well, obviously, the whole juvenile thing plays a part, and I don't, personally, I'm not wishing jail on anybody. I do feel like this particular individual needs to be locked up for the rest of his life. I mean, I just feel like I'm not sure what your game plan was. You went into, we don't need to repeat or rehash the trauma. I just feel like, man, I don't understand what these. It's so many robbery attempts that, when is the last time a robbery has went successfully? That's basically what I'm trying to say. Like, y'all just going and just killing people and not getting anything. I'm just not sure what's going on, man. I'm not. Was that kid sent there to do that? Because ultimately, that's kind of like, if you know, you know. Anybody that's in the streets, you know what I'm saying? That's exactly what that felt like to me. Like somebody sent Shorty. But man, listen, I guess that would be the sign of the times as well, right? And that's been going on in our communities, basically the blind leading the blind theory. I don't want to stay on that, but rest in peace, Pop Smoke. And I definitely want to say I was listening to the radio today, which I rarely do. I low key like resent listening to the radio because I just feel like it's kind of crazy how they just basically it's a program, right? I'm not really with the program. But what I will say is Pop Smoke, man. Pop Smoke's influence is truly, truly great. And I'm not gonna hold you, man. If you just turn that radio on for an hour, male and female, everybody, everything is Pop Smoke sound right now. And that's just what it is, you feel me? We ain't even He didn't even get a chance to see his own impact. And I do feel like that's unfortunate. I'm gonna definitely change that instrumental ASAP, fam. Cause like I said, dog. Anyway, let's wrap this thing up, man. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. 4 years is definitely not. I mean, listen, man. I know some people that, you know, 4 years is kind of like you basically telling me to go do that again. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like I said, man, prayers to humanity, prayers to you and me. I feel like there was something else there that I wanted to throw in there regarding Nipsey. Oh, Eric Holder, the whole man. They talking about Eric Holder. All the gangs have a green light on Eric Holder in prison because now what? Because now he's in prison. Where were all of the gangs when he had a gun to Nick, bro? Like, I just feel like certain reports that get put out, I'm not really sure, like who puts these reports out for real, fam? I'm starting to feel like all of this shit that we see on the internet is just straight up the AI just typing this shit for us. Like, AIs are ultimately just creating the memes and shit, fam. They have to be. You're not telling me that people are doing this, bro. Like, look at the ice bucket challenge, right? And I'm getting ready to get off of this, right? Because realistically, I did something crazy. And now I'm going to have to conjoin two different segments and shit. Like, I got work to do now. Like, I got real work to do now. Like, I made myself have work to do. Like, I was trying to do something slick. I fucked up, and now I got to do something even. I got more work to do, right? But that's just the sign of the times. And at the end of the day, realistically, you should have work to do, too. And you do have work to do. Acknowledge it. Don't run from it. Get to work, man. Because at the end of the day, man, it's kind of like I'm feeling this guitar right here, by the way, a lot. I'm about to really like hold on. I feel like, yeah, we all got some work to do, such as me, such as you. I feel like I just killed this episode again. I feel like I came and I hit y'all with another one. I feel like I'm gonna have to do another episode in like 3 days. I feel like I don't know what's going on. I feel like Fed now is foul. I feel like they definitely killed this man. Like I feel a lot of things, man. And I also feel like, trying to make sure I got everything off the docket. Hold on. Yeah, free all the political prisoners, man. Hey, yo, check this out, though. This has been episode 26. I can't believe I'm about to end this with a Khalees instrumental. Like, I'm starting to question my ability to pod now. Like, realistically, like, this might be rock bottom for me right here, man. Ending this shit on a Khalees. Like, I'm trying to figure out how do I like outro now with the Khalees. So much right now. I hate you so much right. There's a lot to hate right now. I mean, maybe this is appropriate, right? Maybe I end it by talking about some of the things I'm hating right now, right? Because that's just kind of like how I'm feeling right now. Like, now that this is on, I hate Fed Now. I do. And I don't care if y'all listening. Fed Now is foul. Y'all need to delete that. Nobody's going to get Fed Now after y'all went and assassinated this man. Y'all ain't even try to hide it. Y'all going to put out footage of him dying and y'all ain't have the foot. Nobody pulled over. Who were those people driving by anyway, for real? Like, you trying to tell me not one person slowed down? It's the wild, wild west out here, man. Get a motherfucking bag and invest. Or not. Because realistically, if you get too much money. Hey, yo, episode 26. Everybody can go. That's the name of the show. You know the name of the host. Ain't no telling when I'm going to spin the block with another one. Just keep it locked. Check them IG stories. When I come on top, look. You see that circle highlighted? You are officially invited. EBCG. He is I is he. WY LLMATIC. They got an outro over the Khalees beat. Come on, you can't defeat me. I chop your feet off and leave you knees. Come on, please. You don't want that smoke, dog. Which I thought I couldn't hit y'all with a freestyle over this. Pharrell couldn't even mix this. Cause I came through and I'm the mixiest. Look. Yo, this is man episode 26. Everybody can go. I'm off this now, man. Prayers to humanity. Prayers to you and me. You know. Speaking of prayers, where is the Pope right now, fam? I don't want to, I'm not trying to get canceled, but what I'm simply saying is this, right? Because the podcast is over, right? I figured I'd hit y'all with the most controversial take right at the end. You know what I'm saying? They probably ain't going to get to this part right here. But where is the Pope right now? I just feel like when shit hit the fan, dog, you always kind of just quiet. Like, you don't really see you until, it's like something like fun, or you always popping out when it's like fun times, dog. We need you to pop out when shit is hitting the fan, dog. When the kids get shot, we need a prayer, dog. I'm good. I got my own, you know what I'm saying, source of, I got a different Pope that I kind of go to when I need that prayer. But what I'm saying is, though, we need to see the Pope on TV more than we see these mass shootings, right? We need to see the churches more than we see just the violence, man. Try to combat it at least. Can we try to at least combat it with something? Dog, this shit is so disgusting. I'm out, man. Episode 26. Yo, stay tuned. You already know what it is. Episode 27 coming soon. It might come in June. It might come at noon. Look.